Yo, what's good, everyone? It's Noah, and I've got Carlos here.
Yep.
Um, and then we're gonna analyze this match with the California Crawdaunts versus on your left, and then on your right, you have the Louisville Crobats in with your Week One match. So we're just gonna do a little analysis of this real quick, and let's start from the beginning. I'm going on normal speed. Okay. So, first turn, that was fine. Just dropping a Draco first turn. A little bit of a questionable lead, but it's generally fine. Alright, this switch was not good. So, what he did was. That was really risky because he could have just air slash and then killed him. Um, what he should have done is really. Well, first of all, the biggest thing of this entire game, and a running theme. A running theme
Yeah.
is Rump's prep was not optimal because Feeney kind of destroys A-Day's entire team. And it walls everything, and it's just a general monster. So it's
And then
kind of
his
frustrating.
switchings were just questionable. Like early on here, he pretty much sacks Miltank to Jirachi when
We're not
Feeney.
there yet. Shh, we're turn four.
Whatever.
We're turn four. Hold on.
Speaking of sacking Miltank to Jirachi.
Here he is. Now here, turn five, he really should have switched into Metagross, and then he should have given Metagross some, you know, Metagross really should have been a Jirachi check, because I mean, other than Shadow Ball, which shouldn't do like too much, because if you're on like an AV set, Jirachi really can't do much to you, since Shadow Ball's really like the only thing. Also, that counter was really risky and kind of led him down this downhill thing. Also, that was a bad switch too. I
Yeah. He's making a lot of switches here early on and just throughout the match where it's like they're either really risky, like he's trying to gain stuff that he doesn't really need to. Doesn't. It's not a whole lot of helpful. It like you just throw like we're saying, like we said, put Feeney on the team. He has a lot of solutions to his problems. Like nothing on Austin's team really gives Feeney a whole lot of trouble, and those things that do, he has stuff that can switch into that. And yeah, it was just unfortunate they didn't bring it.
yeah, because Feeney would have been a switch into like literally everything. So it is really unfortunate they didn't bring it. And he kind of had to resort to switching into semi-bulky mons that can only really take like 3 hits before dying. Um, and I need to highlight this play real quick because this is a bit of foreshadowing later. So he does a switch in to Hydreigon against a Psychic. Um, Turns out later, so that you'll see that play again a little bit later. So first of all, I would just say Hydreigon, I think, without Feeney, is his win condition, and he kind of needs to save it a little bit better. Uh, I would use, I would have used it less liberally, and then probably use Crobat in the role he's using now. To just kind of dish out hits because he's playing it really risky with Hydreigon, and that's kind of his win conditions, and that's really the only thing that can get consistent damage on everything.
Yeah, and you'll see later in the match that with Miltank so weak and he gets rocks up against him, Miltank is no longer switching with all his HP gone from Jirachi to Rotom, and so he has to resort to switching in Hydreigon on Rotom all the time. And you don't want Hydreigon taking unnecessary damage ever, because like Noah was saying, that's pretty much his win condition. It's gonna be like that in most battles, because Hydreigon is just a monster,
Mm-hmm.
and he could have put in so much work this battle, but he's letting it get just whittled down all the time because he has to make it a switch into stuff because he let his other stuff get his walls get weakened.
Mm-hmm. He has parentheses walls.
Yeah.
I'm gonna highlight turn 12 here real quick. Um, he revealed later that he has Meteor Mash. There's really no reason not to Meteor Mash because if he switches out, you can switch out too, and Zen Headbutt isn't going to be doing too much more damage to, like, Rotom Heat here. So, a little bit questionable. And then it's kind of weird. He does it the second turn when he does switch out. He really could have weakened that Regirock a little more, which could have helped in the later game. It didn't really end up mattering, but just kind of a little thing. Also here, we calced it and we kind of maybe thought Miltank could die because of the rocks. It probably would have died, but if he wouldn't have used it so liberally earlier, it could have came in against this Rotom and then Milk Drank since it's faster too. So, kind of questionable playing. I would say Austin's doing a really good job though, just in general.
Yeah, overall throughout the match, Austin didn't make any over predictions that hurt him. He just played really solid with his team. He probably could have got a higher differential out of this one, I would think.
Mhm.
But in the end, he got the W, and that's really all that matters.
Yeah, for sure.
He didn't do anything too crazy to do it. He just played really well with his team, and he knows what his team needs to do. And with this matchup, even though we're sort of frustrated there was no Feeney, with what he was fighting, he put up a really good match.
Yeah, definitely. He kind of played fairly optimally, and there's no really glaring flaws with his play. All right, turn 17. This is kind of the moment of truth, right? Switches out Miltank. He just keeps switching out. Like, is he afraid he's gonna run out of PP? Like, all right, switches into Hydreigon, and he has Dazzling Gleam, and then his win goes out the window. Um,
And then his new win condition is becoming Darmanitan, which foreshadowing like before, he doesn't do a good job of preserving it. He that's sort of what I think he needs to work on going forward with his team is making sure that win conditions don't become switch-ins to stuff or even sacks. Because like Crobat was sitting there the whole game, it didn't really do anything. And if you look at the matchup, it doesn't beat anything. Like every single mon except maybe Virizion beats it, but even Virizion can do like what just a decent chunk of damage on it, depending on the set. So there was no reason not to sack Crobat whenever he needed a sack at some point when he was sacking other stuff.
Also, right there when he switched. Okay, so sacked Rotom. Um, so Tornadus came in. Tornadus did it? Wait, hold on. I don't remember if it killed it. No, he just switched out. Um, kind of questioning why he didn't switch out into Crobat here, because Crobat doesn't have a bad matchup against it, and like I said earlier, or like Carlos said, I forget, whatever. Darmanitan is kind of his win condition now, but he just let it take a hit and into rocks, and it has Flare Blitz, and it's slower.
And after sacking Darmanitan, he ended up just going back into Metagross and doing exactly what he should have done in the
Yeah.
first place. Because he either that or going to Crobat, which I'd almost prefer that if Crobat could take it out. I don't know what his set he was running exactly because
Mhm.
he didn't use it at all.
Yeah,
But
because knockoff did a lot, but it it didn't kill it, and it would have did like Meteor Mash would have killed. So I do not understand that switch at all. He literally just gave him, kill my win condition, please.
yeah, it was definitely that sealed the match right there. Just
Mhm.
sacking after Manitan. It forced him to sack Metagross to Virizion, and then yeah, that was it.
Mhm. Because literally same situation, here. So So what happens is, so if he still had Darmanitan, I'm not positive if Icicle. I'm gonna turn 24. I'm not positive if Icicle Crash killed here, killed Darmanitan. So basically, if he used Earthquake, he would switch into Crobat. If he used Icicle Crash, he would switch into Darmanitan, and then Darmanitan would hit something really hard. It should have a fighting move. If it doesn't, that's questionable. But and then Darmanitan would do really good damage to probably he would switch into Regirock, do a lot of damage to that, and I'm pretty it's at like 60, so and it's definitely faster than Regirock, so probably could have taken that out, switched back into Mamoswine, and then I don't know, it could have turned out a lot differently if you
We
save
see
it.
this as a Scarf Mamoswine because it outspeeds that Crobat, so
Yeah,
couldn't have just clicked Icicle Crash right there because that doesn't deal with Darmanitan. So preserving that at least so the Mamoswine couldn't just sweep would
mm-hmm.
have been good.
But right here, you just click Icicle Crash and wins. Like, there's really nothing he could have done. I like that. He threw the game away multiple times, but whatever.
Throw Feeney over that Crobat right there, and Feeney wins at the end of the game.
That's
I'm just
very
saying.
true. And that's like the first time I'm pretty sure Crobat came in. So,
It came in like one other time and then switched. But yeah, if
whatever.
Crobat at least came in at some point earlier and got rid of rocks so Miltank could heal up, that would have been nice.
Mm-hmm.
But because rocks on the other side later, like it was nice, but not Miltank being healthy would have been crucial.
For sure. I am sad to say that Rump has to leave the league for personal reasons. So I think Jace, one of our analysts, is taking over his team. So that'll be cool. Good luck to Rump in his personal endeavors. But yeah, congrats to Austin for the win. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next analysis. Peace.